Democrats may try to stop Barrett's confirmation by not providing enough members for a quorum. With the end of Day 2 of the Senate confirmation hearings for Donald Trump's nominee to the Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett, it may seem like the Democrats are powerless to stop it, since the Republicans have the slim majority. However, according to Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, D. New York, they may have at least one trick up their sleeve. Democrats will not supply the quorum, said Schumer on Sunday evening. Despite having the majority, for the confirmation to move from the Senate Judiciary Committee to the full Senate, the vote needs at least 2 Democrats to be present. If they don't show up, the Senate still has a few options. They could eliminate the rule requiring 2 minority party members to be present. They could also have the Senate vote on a discharge resolution, which would bypass the Judiciary Committee and Chairman Lindsey Graham, RSC. But once the confirmation moves out of the committee, either by a vote or if it's bypassed, Democrats really have little recourse. Regardless of whether they show up for the quorum or not, the hearings in the Judiciary Committee carried on Tuesday for the second day. Graham plunged right in at the start of Tuesday's hearing and asked Barrett about the abortion rights issue. She is known to have signed a Right to Life ad, and has also said she believed Roe v. Wade will not be overturned but believes abortion could be more limited. He asked if she would be able to fairly evaluate any cases challenging the laws. She answered, yes. Senator Amy Klobuchar, DMN, asked the nominee about Roe v. Wade being a super precedent case. She noted she was answering a lot of questions about Roe, which I think indicates that Roe doesn't fall in that category. To describe her originalist label on herself in interpreting the Constitution, she said she shared the philosophy with the late Justice Antonin Scalia, and said this about the Constitution: I interpret its text as text, and I understand it to have the meaning that it had at the time people ratified it. So that meaning doesn't change over time, and it's not up to me to update it or infuse my own policy viewed into it. Graham asked Barrett if she owned a gun. She replied, we do own a gun. He asked if she thinks she could fairly decide a Second Amendment case, and she replied simply, yes. Should she be confirmed, Barrett's first big case would be deciding whether to uphold the Affordable Care Act. From my point of view, Obamacare has been a disaster for the state of South Carolina, said Graham. We want something better. We want something different. He asked if she thought she should recuse herself from an ACA case. Senator, recusal itself is a legal issue. You know there's a statute, 28 U.S.C. 4-55, that governs when judges have to recuse. There's precedent under that rule. Justice Ginsburg, in explaining the way recusal works, says it's always up to the individual justice but always involves colleagues with the other 8 justices. So that's not a question that I could answer in the abstract. Speaking more directly to the subject of ACA after Senate Minority Whip Dick Durbin, DIL, pressed her on her previous critiques, Barrett said she wrote that as a law professor and that she is not hostile to the ACA as he suggested. I apply the law, I follow the law, you make the policy. Graham also asked if she could put aside her Catholic beliefs to decide a case. I can. I have done that in my time on the 7th Circuit. I will continue to do that if I am confirmed to the Supreme Court. I will do that still, Barrett replied. Senator Dianne Feinstein, DCA, a ranking member on the committee, asked if Trump has the authority to delay the general election. Senator, Barrett replied, if that question ever came before me, I would need to hear arguments from the litigants and read briefs and consult with my law clerks and talk to my colleagues and go through the opinion writing process. So if I give the off-the-cuff answers, I would be basically a legal pundit, and I don't think we want judges to be legal pundits. We want them to look at cases with an open mind. When asked by Senator Patrick Leahy, DVT, if she would recuse herself in an election dispute that may reach the High Court, Barrett basically danced around the question. I commit to you to fully and faithfully applying the law of recusal. And part of the law is to consider any appearance questions. And I will apply the factors that other justices have before me in determining whether the circumstances require my recusal or not. But I can't offer a legal conclusion right now about the outcome of the decision I would reach.